Hi everyone, and welcome to the Free Range Daily. Yes, we are having a heat wave. It's going to be triple digits today in the basin, and the reason is because we have a Santa Ana condition where the winds are blowing off the desert. They're blowing out of the east instead of, usually they blow off out of the west, off the cooling ocean, but no, the weather pattern has changed, and they heat up as they blow through the canyons, and then the temperatures just soar by the time they get here. And believe it or not, I am thriving. I live for this time of year. It only happens for, like a few weeks out of the year, and I thoroughly enjoy this hot, dry, desert, sort of, it makes you feel alive kind of weather. All right, enough of that. So today I want to do a book review. If you've seen any of my What I Eat in a Day videos, you know that I eat a traditional diet. Well, I'm going to talk today about what that really is. And so the book that I'm going to be talking about is called Deep Nutrition. It's by Catherine Shanahan MD, and it says Why Your Genes Need Traditional Food. And it features the 4 pillars of the human diet, and on the front it also says lose weight, sharpen your mind, improve energy, look and feel younger, and ensure the health of your children. So the title comes from the conclusions that were reached by the author's search for a cure for her debilitating musculoskeletal issues. She learned after studying the diets of societies that have eaten the same way for generations that real food contains precise, ordered information that can direct our cellular growth in a positive way. So, right, I'm reading notes, by the way, in case you're wondering, and we're going to start talking about epigenetics, which is the study of the human genome. It's a fascinating and complex science, and this book is very dense and has a lot of information in it. There's so much about the human genome that we have yet to learn. But to sum up what we know in a quick one sentence, your genes are not your destiny. You can affect change to your DNA in ways that not only impact your health, but the health of your children. And to quote the author, she says, I don't think of Deep Nutrition as a diet book. It's a book that gives you control over your own health destiny. So the first part of this book defines how our genes work through cellular communication. Just like the entry and end points in the electrical grid work together to supply power to hundreds of thousands of homes, this book talks about how cells communicate and how nutrients that have been broken down from food interact with that communication system, for better or for worse. Then it goes on to discuss how we define beauty in the next section. There's a connection between beauty and health, not only based on our perception, but also on a genetic level. Symmetry is the common denominator of what we perceive as beautiful, especially like a beautiful face. It's not political incorrectness, it's just the way our brains are hardwired. Symmetry of the body means that we're capable of completing any physical tasks that are required. It's necessary for balance and stability. Scouts and trainers of pro athletes know this, and even in architecture or natural wonders, our eye is very happy to rest on the symmetrical, but uncomfortable when observing that which is what it perceives as out of balance or asymmetrical. Then from there, she covers the dangers of our modern diet, naming foods that negatively affect our health, especially over the long term. And then she finally gets to the 4 pillars of the human diet. And after that, there's preparation techniques, recipes, and ingredient sources. So when we look at diets that have been studied thus far, like the Okinawan, the Mediterranean, any of the blue zone diets, on the surface, it seems that there's no commonality. The residents of Okinawa do not eat the same things as the Hunza, for example, or the residents of Crete do not eat the same things as the Maasai. And yet all of these people enjoy robust health into old age. They're physically active, mentally sharp. They have good eyesight, strong bones, and all their teeth well into their 90s and beyond. One night while channel surfing, I came across a news segment on the BBC about these people that have been studied to have the healthiest hearts in the world. Of course, that got my attention, and a team of scientists, and I mean a large team of like maybe 30 or 40 different scientists and doctors from places like UC Santa Barbara, the University of New Mexico. They traveled to the forests of Bolivia in order to study this community of people called the Chimene. And there's about 16,000 of them, and they found that their arteries remain pristine well into old age, with barely any signs of what's known as coronary artery calcium, the buildup that leads to heart attacks. This is quite remarkable. They say that they have been studied for years, and their levels are much lower than any other population that's ever been studied. So they wanted to find out why. What's the secret? And here's what they don't do. They don't take supplements. They don't have diet plans with catchy names. And by the way, I saw an ad the other day for the cruise control diet. They don't count calories. They don't go to the gym. Then they don't worry about carbs or saturated fat or sugar. This community they are hunter-gatherers who rely on wild game and fish, small family farms that grow rice, corn, manioc, and plantains, and then the remainder of their diet comes from foraged fruit and nuts. Water break. They also get a lot of exercise, primarily from walking, to complete their daily tasks. Even the average 60-year-old gets about 15,000 steps a day. Now you could take this community and these statistics and drop them right into this book, and they fit. The 4 pillars of the human diet are meat on the bone and the broth that is made from those bones, organ meats, fermented and sprouted foods, that's number 3, and number 4 is fresh, unadulterated plant and animal products. And that is what all these disparate communities all over the world have in common. That is the foundation. So let me just read you from the pages of the book. It says, this book is about tradition and wisdom. It's about cuisine. It's about enjoying your retirement, not being dependent on medication, and knowing that your kids are healthy. So I'm going to leave a link below to this book on Amazon, where I invite you to just go there and read the author's note. It's very short. And full disclosure, yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, but it doesn't matter if you choose to buy it. It doesn't matter if you choose to buy it from there, or Barnes & Noble if you're a Nook person, or you have your favorite bookstore that you support in your community. So I just encourage you to go there and read the author's note, because I found it to be eye-opening, and I've been eating this way since 2014. But because what I intuitively felt about my health and the way that my body felt being on this diet is now firmly rooted in science, and it's rooted in this book. And as you can see, I've got little notes all the way through here, because as I said, there's a lot of information here before you even get to the actual diet itself. Reading this book has strengthened my commitment to eating this way, and it's also made me a lot more meticulous about the quality and the sources of my food. I can't tell you how freeing it's been to let go of words like carbs and low this or high that, or calories, or what should I eat for dinner based on what I ate for lunch, or bloating, or still feeling snacky right after eating, or should I eat now or have a snack and wait an hour, or just thinking way too much about food. It's just so much better to stop stressing about carbs and weight and saturated fat and cholesterol. It's making us nuts. And the author says that this food speak is really bad for our health. So that seems like a good place to leave it for today. There's going to be a follow-up video where I give an overview of all the books that have sort of impacted my health journey over the last several years. Also, if you have any questions, about this book or the traditional diet, leave them down below and I will answer them in that video. So if you found this information helpful, then please give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you won't miss part 2. And, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys being there. I hope you got something out of this. And until I see you again, take care and have a great day. Bye.